We've seen traffic decrease quite a bit as far as the governor's stay-home order has come across. Not as much as we like. We would still like more people to stay home if they could. There's still a couple of people that instead of looking at the executive order and saying, okay, how can I comply? They're more looking at it of how can I get around this and still get outside and do different things. So we've been pretty fortunate that our staffing levels have remained the same during this time. But we know that the way that this virus has spread, it's only going to be a matter of time before it starts to affect us as well. Unfortunately, we still see the same things that we had. We had two fatal crashes over this weekend. I believe one was Friday and one was Saturday. Both involved alcohol. So we're seeing some of the same things that we were seeing beforehand, just at a smaller level. So that is a concern for us. Our troopers have an enormous amount of discretion even before this virus came across. So, we trust our troopers to do the right thing all the time. So, if you're doing a couple miles over the speed limit, is it safe to say that a trooper is probably not going to stop you just for the fact of the chance of spreading that virus between either the trooper to the driver to the trooper? That's pretty high up there. But what won't happen is a free-for-all. So if somebody's out there on the roadways and they're driving, 10 over the speed limit or whatever, we're still going to stop cars. We're going to use some caution that we recommend to everybody. The same thing that you've heard us say to you is the same thing that we say to our troopers.
Yep.
Maintain that 6 feet, make sure that, that you're not making contact with anybody. If our troopers are sick, we don't want them coming to work. We want them to stay home. So a lot of the things that we've told people through our website, through our social media, we're telling our troopers the exact same thing.
What if you do come across somebody that's, maybe have a fever or not looking well? Do you have a responsibility as an officer to, do you have to take them? Do you have to report them? How does that work?
So if we do run across somebody that is like that, most times, if you feel sick like that, you're supposed to contact your healthcare provider. We would probably do the same thing. We would probably back off a little bit and contact EMS personnel and have them maybe come out and take a look to see, exactly where we are as far as somebody being sick or not sick. Hopefully, if somebody was feeling sick like that, they wouldn't be out in the first place. That's, our always first thought. But if they are kind of pushing the envelope a little bit, we're going to probably have some conversation with them to make sure that they're okay. Because, if you're feeling that sick from some of the examples that we've heard through your site and through, other media sources, this virus isn't a joke, and you shouldn't be driving if you've got it for sure. If you are feeling sick, even if it's a flu or something like that, let us know. I mean, right off the bat that you're not feeling well. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, I'm just going to say I don't feel well, and hopefully you'll just let me go. You don't have to roll the window as far down as you want if you leave it halfway up or whatever, unless it's tinted or something like that. If we can see through it, you can probably leave that window up a little bit because we're going to want to maintain that distance from you, and you probably want to maintain that distance from us. So that's, another thing that you can do. But again, and this is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout this whole interview. If we don't have contact with you at all, that's the best way that you can protect yourself, us, and your family. So if you have to go out, if you're an essential employee, just because there's not a lot of traffic out there doesn't mean that the speed limit just increased for you by 15 miles an hour. One of the biggest questions that we get through our social media is, does the order allow me to just clear my head by driving around in my car, in my motorcycle? And it does not. You are supposed to stay at home. So that unnecessarily travel will kind of help us out as well. And the reason for that is that if you're out there and say you're driving around and your car breaks down, well, now you got the police that's going to come out there, the tow truck driver. You're making contact with all those people letting that virus kind of go through there. Or if you get in a crash, we got to come out there and police up that crash. So it's not that I think we're trying to be mean or anything like that, or say you got to stay in your house, but you really got to stay in your house. And those unnecessary trips, the sooner we kind of end those, the sooner I'll see what my office looks like and be able to get outside and, enjoy not being cooped up in the house all day.
First Lieutenant Michael Shaw, I appreciate you taking the time with me and here at WWJ and, trying to get the information out there. We want to be safe for you. We want you to get home to your family and all the officers, and we don't want anybody getting affected, have to go in the hospital or anything. So again, thank you for taking the time and talking to us. And thank you for everything you do out there. And please pass along our thanks to all the other officers that you may talk to. Us at WWJ, we really do appreciate everything that you did, that you guys do. Do you have any last things you want to say to anybody out there who may be watching this video as far as safety goes?
Yep. Just take a look at michigan.gov/coronavirus. That has everything that the state of Michigan has provided on this, from tips to staying healthy, to the executive orders, to frequent questions that people ask if they can do or whatever. That's the site to go to. And then the second one, with the stimulus package coming along, and some of the things that happen on social media, there's a lot of people that got a lot of extra time on their hands. Take everything you see on there with a grain of salt. There is no cure. There's no at-home test. There is nothing that you'd have to pay for. And the government does not need to know what your account number is to put that stimulus check in your direct deposit. They already got that off your tax return. We're going to see a lot of people that get scammed over this, because there's a lot of people that are going to be trapped and try to get that stuff sooner. So just be careful what you see out there.
First Lieutenant Michael Shaw of Michigan State Police, thank you again so much for your time. We appreciate it, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Sounds good. Take care.